I'm here today with Alan Greenberg, ALAC Chair, and Maureen Hilliard, the incoming ALAC Chair, and we're here today to discuss the evolution of at-large. So, Alan, what was the at-large community like when you assumed the role of ALAC Chair?
I started in ICANN and at-large in ALAC 12 years ago, and at that point there was the 15-member ALAC, but it was appointed largely by the board and by the NOMCOM because there were no RALOs, there was no regional organization surrounding it. By the time I became chair 4 years ago, we had the 5 very robust and mature RALOs. We had a significant number of at-large structures, the local structures in the field, and unfortunately, from my point of view, we still only had one RALO that had unaffiliated individual members.
So what have been some of the greatest accomplishments during your time as ALAC Chair of the at-large community, and perhaps a challenge?
Well, when I look back, I think one of the accomplishments is the counterpart to what I said it was like when I started. We now have 5 RALOs that have unaffiliated individual members, which means we're not restricting participation to someone who has an at-large structure, who's someone part of a group, but a single person who wants to contribute has that ability. And that's, I think, is a very important part of the maturity of the ALAC and at-large. In terms of accomplishments, we spent a significant part of the last 4 years working on the IANA stewardship transition, the move away from the U.S. government to ICANN being, not subservient to a government and being independent, and to the accountability efforts that went along with it. The ALAC and at large were very active participants in that. We ended up, I think, having a very significant impact on the outcomes because of what we did, and we worked cooperatively with a large number of people within at large to achieve those. So I think we demonstrated a level of maturity and ability to participate in the ICANN ecosystem that proves we are here, and we're no longer viewed by some people as sort of an add-on. In terms of going forward, I think the largest challenge now is to continue what we have done over the last, 12 years certainly, and to continue to increase the participation of everyone within at large. So we truly are involving the whole group, which has been hard to date.
Thank you, Alan. That's a good point about the engagement of the individuals as well. Policy is also a very important part of the at-large community and ALAC's work in ICANN. And Maureen, perhaps you would like to say a few words about outreach and engagement in the at-large community.
Well, the work of the internet is, it's becoming increasingly demanding, and ICANN's expectations of its community is also becoming quite demanding. I think that, with at large, being involved as it is in providing advice in relation to policy makes it important. Outreach and engagement becomes more important as well, because we need to shoulder tap people who can actually help us and contribute to the work that we have to do in relation to supporting other constituencies within ICANN to develop the policies that are important to ICANN.
Okay. And in terms of engagement and policy making, there have been now going on the 3rd at-large summit. There have been 2 prior at-large summits. The first Atlas was in 2009, and the second was in London in 2014. The next one will be in Montreal at ICANN63. Would you like to say anything about this upcoming summit and plans?
The previous summits were sort of like engaged and sort of involved large groups of our at-large community and introduced them to the huge network, of course, that is ICANN, but also involve them in policy. This time we're actually having to to change our approach. Sort of like circumstances have meant that we are going to, again, focus a lot on policy, but probably also on developing leadership and encouraging, encouraging skills, building capacity to ensure that we've actually got appropriate people who are coming in who are active, willing to engage, and contributing in an appropriate way to the development of the policies that that At Large is engaged in. Yeah.
And another large project that you have under your belt as incoming chair is the At Large review implementation. So maybe you'd like to comment on that and how it will benefit end users.
Well, the review, of course, is a means of encouraging us to reflect on, how we are doing things within ICANN, and I think that the implementation plan that we are working on at the moment is actually something that's going to help us with continuous improvement within At Large, and again, making sure that we're actually working more effectively and especially making it more efficient in respect to costs, so that we're actually still able to work as an effective contributor to the work of ICANN.
And connecting, I know ALAC and RALO leadership has also been a part of it.
Well, it's been one of the important things that for me is that the messages that come from ALAC are actually filtering down to to our grassroots members, and I think that if we can, by engaging the RALO chairs into a leadership discussion, it means that we're actually connecting, making that connection with our membership and encouraging again that greater involvement.
Fantastic. And are there any other thoughts either one of you would like to impart about your time in At Large and the evolution of the community?
I'll just say it's been a fun 12 years, and I look forward to seeing what happens next.
I'm looking forward to it. I know that I've got big shoes to fill, and Alan's, he's left his legacy within At Large, which I'm going to take advantage of.
Great. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.